Hi guys, this is Dr. Allaire from the University of Houston downtown, and today I am reading Every Last Bubble Must Pop by Jason Carter Eaton. It was a beautiful day, and Dewey was all alone blowing bubbles. You don't need a friend to blow bubbles. The best part of blowing bubbles is popping them. But no sooner had he said that than he just missed popping the very last one. It caught a slight breeze, and he stood up so he could see where it was going. It was going up. So Dewey jumped up and down to try to reach it, but in almost no time at all, it was out of reach again. He'd need to jump higher. The backyard trampoline would do the trick. Almost. This was one elusive bubble. Thinking quickly, he climbed up on top of his jungle gym. And watched as the bubble sailed right over him. This was going to be harder than he thought. Dewey quickly fetched a ladder and raced to the roof of his house. But the bubble was way, way past that already. He grabbed his telescope. There's the bubble through his telescope. There was a really tall building in town. Dewey hopped on his bike and rode like the wind. When he reached the building, he dove into the elevator and pressed the button, emerging moments later on the top floor. Just moments after the bubble. He'd need to get higher. Just then, a man with a hot air balloon passed by. Dewey quickly explained the situation. And of course, the man wasted no time giving Dewey his balloon. After thanking him, Dewey was off. He quickly gained on the bubble, but there must have been a crosswind because soon they were on opposite ends of the sky. There's the bubble all the way over there. Closer, thought Dewey. I have to get closer. The helicopter flying past would do nicely, and after some explaining and thanking, it was all his. The problem with helicopters, however, is that they can only go so high, and this bubble was showing no signs of slowing down. He definitely needs something with more oomph. Like that biplane, which took some serious explaining and thanking, but was totally worth it. Up, up, up went the bubble, with Dewey and his biplane quickly closing the gap, though not quick enough for his taste. His taste was more suited to that F-16 fighter jet on the horizon. Of course, it took a ton of explaining and thanking, but in the end, Dewey knew it would pay off. The F-16 was a gorgeous aircraft, and zooming through the clouds was tremendously fun. But this wasn't about fun. This was about popping that bubble. Dewey pushed down hard on the throttle and soared upward towards the bubble. He knew F-16s could only go up 50,000 feet, so he'd need to catch it before then. It was close, but not close enough. He'd never be able to catch it now. see the airplane, the jet. There's the bubble all the way over there. Not unless it just happened to be the day of the moon launch, which it did. Though as Dewey did his explaining and thanking, he knew this was probably his last chance to catch that bubble. But none of that mattered now. He was in the fastest, most powerful rocket in the world. There was no stopping him. Except for the fact that the rocket stopped on the moon. You can see Dewey get out, trying to catch the bubble. Dewey returned home. He was sad after that. After all that effort, he never popped the bubble. That night, just before bed, he pulled out his telescope to see if he could spot his bubble. But something was blocking his view. A bubble, but not his. So he popped it. Now Dewey could see where that bubble had come from and where his bubble had gone. And he knew he'd found a new friend. And that's the end of the book. And so my challenge to you is to think about some of the different science lessons and science topics that you could pull from this book.